All right, man. Cheers.
Cheers.
This is my favorite of all time.
This is so easy to drink.
I know.
Oh,
Wait, are you? I feel like your English is becoming more like Nihonjin-poi because, like, I feel like Americans never say this is so easy to drink, but in Japanese you say nomiyasui.
yeah.
You're becoming Japanese, man.
You don't have to tell me, man. I realized. I think we mentioned this when we were just walking. We were going to buy this just now, and I had mentioned that. So I'm going on paternity leave today.
Yeah,
today is my
Ukiyo-e.
first day of paternity.
おめでとうございます.
Thank you. So my baby girl's gonna be born next
Yeah.
week. Really excited. Her name's Luna.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see her and
Yeah.
meet her. My wife just sent me an ultrasound video.
Oh, cool.
And there was a fully formed baby inside her now.
Yeah, right.
And I saw her face for the first time.
Yeah.
And I realized she has my fored.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So it's like you see this cute little baby girl, big ass head, and I'm just like, ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that. But I was explaining that I have 3 months of paternity leave, and Japan's actually really good at offering paternity leave, but there's kind of like a stereotype, or like a stigma maybe, of you get paternity leave, but you don't actually get paternity leave.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm in that situation now where it's like, okay, I have it, but I can't really afford to miss work.
Yeah.
So it's like, if I'm gone at work, the quality of my classes just plummets.
Right.
And they can't really replace me right
Yeah.
now. So it is what it is.
Yeah. So 2 weeks, man.
Yep. So yeah, I really feel like I've become Japanese.
Yeah.
Glued to my work.
Yeah, man. Well, that's definitely a big thing about culture here. It's something that I like, but now I'm trying to get out of that, you know?
Sure.
But today, though, we were going to be talking about something that is distinctly not Japanese for you or I, for you or me, which is beards.
Yeah. So I don't know if you've noticed the past couple episodes, but I have had a beard. You've had a beard for... I can't even imagine you without a beard.
I know. I've had a beard forever. So
Dude.
I used to not have a beard. Then I got fatter, and then I got a beard. But then I also kept my beard to make me look older when I was doing my business.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I feel like if you shaved your face right now and came at me, I just wouldn't be able to take you seriously.
Dude, so everybody who sees me without a beard, they're like, やっぱりひげあった方がいいな. Yeah, everybody says that, you know. Yeah.
So I'm taking my first steps into beards, and it's kind of a little bit of a wild mess right now. But I've started like watching YouTube tutorials.
Okay.
On how to get beards. So
Yeah.
I bought some like beard oils.
You bought beard oils.
I bought beard oils. I bought like skincare stuff. So I'm like gonna go really hard into like taking care of my face now. I even have like little beard trimmers.
Oh, really?
I haven't got them yet, as you can see. It's like
Yeah.
my mustache is going into my mouth. But I'm really excited. It's gonna be like a new little hobby of mine.
What made you want to grow a beard suddenly?
So I feel like this kind of segues into the main topic today, where masculinity, I think, is very different between Japan and the US.
Yeah.
A textbook example of masculinity in America is like a big muscular guy with a big beard.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes long flowing hair, sometimes short hair, depending on people's preferences. But like
Very strong beard.
The emphasis is muscles and beard.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? And I'm just at a stage in my life where I just want to appear more masculine.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know why.
Okay.
I guess I'm a dad now, so I guess I want to feel like a dad more.
Yeah.
I guess that's where that's coming from. But anyways, so I want a beard.
Okay.
But I don't want a half-assed beard.
Yeah, you want a real one.
You see a lot of guys out there that just like
patchy crap and whatever.
Yeah, well, I feel like there's a distinct difference between not shaving and growing a beard.
Very different. Very
know what I
different.
mean?
I shave every day, almost every day.
Yeah. Yeah, and so I want to make that transition
Yeah.
into it being a choice rather than a sign of laziness.
Yeah, right.
So That's where I'm going forward with that.
You know, it's really funny because, like, yeah, I think for our generation especially, most guys will have a beard of some sort.
Yeah.
But what's funny is sometimes on my YouTube channel, I get a person being like, まずはここ日本だよ。ひげ剃ってきなとか、
Yeah.
ひげ剃るか国に帰れとか。
Yeah.
Sometimes I get those kind of comments on my YouTube
Yeah.
channel because like, this is Japan. You don't have a beard in Japan. It's
Yeah.
like very different.
Which is like such an insane statement to make because I see guys with beards all the time here.
Yeah.
Like it's definitely not as popular as the US.
Yeah.
Because if you go like especially if you go to a place like Seattle, it's pretty hard to find a guy that doesn't have facial hair.
Yeah, right.
In Seattle. I don't know if it's the case like down in California, I think it's probably a little bit more the opposite, but I would say in general in America, probably around 50% of men have facial hair, maybe even more.
Yeah.
But it's just like if you go to my work right now, I would say a ballpark estimate there's probably 30 men in the teacher staff, right? And out of those 30 men, including myself, probably 10, maybe even 12 have beards.
Oh, really?
Or some form of facial hair, like
Really?
a soul patch or a small little mustache or something.
What's a soul patch?
A soul patch is like this.
Just this part, yeah.
Just this part right
Yeah.
there. So like maybe it's a recent thing. Maybe like just in the past decade or so, like you know, that's changed, but so I don't feel like it's that rare here.
Yeah, well, you know, so in you can kind of see like it's kind of been changing a bit too. So like in my grandfather's generation, like the 40s, 50s, right? You never saw guys with beards because having a beard was a sign of being unkempt, right?
Yeah.
But then in my dad's generation, like my dad had the famous like rat on his face, you know, the mustache thing. Like I remember looking at pictures, he had the huge big rimmed glasses and like the rat on his face like that, like the Burt Reynolds mustache. And now it's become like a full beard, you know? But why do you think it is that it's changed?
Well, I mean, probably a couple reasons, right?
Yeah.
Probably something to do with, you know, you don't want to look like the last generation because the last generation looks old fashioned. Yeah. Right. And I feel like there's kind of this back and forthness of, at least speaking on behalf of American culture, I think there's this back and forthness of what masculinity is. So on one hand, you have beards, right? And the typical American beards right now, it's like rugged, muscular, Cro-Magnon man, kind of like primal, like warrior kind of guy, right?
Right.
And then the other side of that, like when beards kind of fall out of favor, it's kind of like, okay, well, I'm very well put together. I'm organized. You were saying, you know, unkempt, like men with beards are unkempt. So it's like you have two sides of that, right? Where it's like, okay, well, I'm responsible and I shave every day, or I am this rugged man. Yeah. You know? Whereas I feel like in Japanese culture, there's probably still aspects of that, but I feel like there's more of an emphasis on being appearing put together. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I would say like being clean shaven, very clean, very put together.
Yeah. Like I think the image of masculinity here has more or less stayed the same throughout the ages. Like if you think of like 100, maybe 150 years ago, you know, like men were walking around still like I wouldn't say tight clothing, but very well organized clothing. You very rarely saw facial hair. Haircuts, like if you look at photos from back then, like they always had like really clean haircuts and hairstyles and everything. And then it's the exact same now. Yeah. You know, now it like instead of wearing like kimonos and everything, now men are wearing suits. Yeah. But it's still the same idea. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, you know, talking about that concept of manliness, masculinity, it really it was really surprising for me when I first came to Japan how there's so much effort put into men's beauty products here. Yeah. And how the men's beauty section is almost the same size as the women's beauty section here. And like whereas in the States, like the definition of masculine is kind of rough.
Yeah, and it's like almost the complete opposite.
Yeah.
I think you really notice that with accessories. Like if you look at men here in Japan, like if you go to Tokyo right now or in the morning and watch like just a typical guy going to work, you will see most likely he's got a wedding ring on, he's got a watch on, he's got some kind of necklace on.
Yeah.
Occasionally you'll even see like an earring or something. And of course you see that in the US, but there's just not like an emphasis on it. It's almost kind of like I just mentioned earlier, it's like the exact opposite. Like sometimes you'll see a guy with a watch.
Yeah.
But it's like there's this mentality of like, I don't want to look like I'm relying on this stuff.
Yeah.
Like I just want people to see me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, so in the States, right? So for a guy wanting to look put together, wanting to look nice, he'll wear a suit, right?
Yeah.
But in Japan, you don't necessarily have to wear a suit, but there are many ways for men to be very fashionable and very like trendy. They look like they have a really good fashion sense.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, if you were to see that in America, people would probably think that person's gay or something like that. If he's really well put together, you know.
Actually, there is kind of like a stigma with that.
Yeah.
Where it, like if you're very clean shaven and especially if you have like a lot of product that you're wearing, like if you're wearing like lotion and skincare stuff, it's like it's very much associated with gay men. Yeah,
and also about like clothes and stuff. Like I remember, so one time, this is back when I was ryugakusei here. I was going to interview a woman to be a teacher for me for this school that I was helping a friend run, right? And we became friends later, and she this was back before I had a beard, actually. I didn't have a beard at that time. But
you were a lesser man.
Exactly. No, but she was later on, she's like, "Yeah, Arthur, you know, I thought you were gay." I was like, "Why'd you think I was gay?" And she's like, "Because when you were waiting for me at the station, because we didn't know each other's faces, we were just gonna meet at the station to go to a cafe or whatever." And I said, "Yeah, I'm wearing like the whatever color shirt and the wine colored pants." I didn't say red, I said wine, and that was like the giveaway that I was gay or something like that.
I do see.
I mean, you can see that, right?
I'm gonna be honest. I am as caveman as it comes when it comes to like picking out colors.
Yeah, right.
I knew like red, blue, green, yellow.
Right.
It's like it doesn't really get much further for me than
and
that.
Yeah,
and it's just like,
yeah. But I mean, in America, that would be a very common thing. But here, it's almost like, you know, guys should have a high fashion sense here. You know.
Yeah.
Like I also remember there was this one time. So in Boston, there's lots of Japanese people come by, right? And I have a couple of friends who, from the Boston area, and they're pretty like blue collar. They didn't grow up like, I think one of their dads was like a plumber or something like that.
Okay.
Ended up being really well off because of that. But yeah, we were hanging out in Boston, and we saw two Japanese guys with like scarves on and really tight pants and a really trendy jacket. It was winter.
Yeah. And
we were actually we talked a few days ago about how like Japanese guys are really put together. That doesn't mean they're gay. It just means like they care about their appearance a lot.
Yeah.
I remember my friends were just like, "Arthur, come on. These two people, you can't tell me these two people are not gay."
Yeah.
I was like, "No, they're not. They're just Japanese." You know, because the sense is so different.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I remember when I was a high school student and I did foreign exchange over in Japan, and I really liked the fashion when I first came here. And so when I came back, I started wearing like tight clothes.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like not really popular for men to wear tight clothes in the U.S. It's like usually you kind of wear kind of baggy stuff, right? And I remember I started wearing tight clothes, and my brother used to make fun of me so much about it. He used to say "smedium."
What is small medium?
Yeah, small medium. He's like, "Why do you keep buying all these medium clothes?" And so it's like he used to give me such a hard time about it. And, looking back on it is a little cringy because I did wear very tight clothing.
Okay.
But I wasn't a fat man like I am today, so I could kind of get away with it.
Yeah.
But it is kind of funny how like you do see tighter clothing here. And there's this like the only way I would describe it is like you see men here and they look crisp.
Crisp. I like that word.
Crisp. Yeah, it's like I feel like that's a really fitting word. It's
Yeah.
very crisp.
Yeah, like very clean shaven, like their hair is like perfect. The suit is on point, or the clothes are on
and
point.
it's like, their jackets are all like they look like they just came from the dry cleaners and
Yeah.
stuff. And I mean, of course, it's not true for everyone here,
Yeah.
but I think generally speaking, it's like there's that look.
Yeah.
Whereas like you see in the U.S., it's like you go to like just a company office in the U.S. and it's like I would say most guys don't iron their shirt in the U.S.
Yeah.
I think that's almost unheard of at an office here.
Yeah. You
know
have
what
to.
I mean?
You have to look nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just like that attention to detail is just something you don't really see in the U.S.
Yeah. But for you though, like, so now you've been here for plenty of years now.
Yeah.
And so like probably when you came here at first, you're like, why is everyone like this? But now, as someone who's lived here for so long, has your idea about self-care and like keeping yourself up changed at all?
I mean, yeah. Well, when it comes to my beard, I'm definitely I think just this past year I've been paying more attention to like skincare products.
Yeah.
I think the past couple years I've been really focusing on health and fitness, and I was exercising a lot, and then I stopped and I got fat again.
Yeah.
So I need to go back and do that. But one thing that I have been looking into is like skincare stuff. And I think if I were back in America, I just really wouldn't ever consider it.
Yeah, it's almost like what you're into skincare. Like, who are you trying to look pretty for?
Yeah, exactly. Right. So that I'm definitely I have changed on that, and I am trying to do better. But at the same time, I also feel like because I'm in this environment and I'm surrounded by Japanese culture, I also feel like a compulsion to be more American.
I get that, actually.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I feel like I don't know. It's like my inner American is like, oh, we need to stand out. We need to look different from everybody else.
Yeah.
So it's like I feel like at the same time I want to do the skincare stuff. It's like I really, really want to push in the other direction, like grow a beard out and be a big caveman.
Yeah.
Here, so
Yeah, I mean, it's funny though, like about the whole beard thing too, because I feel like especially for our generation now, especially for guys, there's a new push for like skincare and, for lack of a better word, beauty regimen, but it's all focused around like the masculine part. So like your beard, you know, so like there are people who probably are like skincare, whatever. I'm not going to like put on skincare. I'm not like that. But then they will like use the beard oil and like they'll trim their beard and stuff,
Yeah.
But like one thing that is kind of interesting for me, because I was born in Germany, spent the first 8 years of my life there, and I went back there pretty regularly up until 18. And one thing I've noticed is that in Germany and in Europe too in general, people are really put together like they are here.
Are they?
And if a European guy came to America too, they'd probably be misinterpreted as like gay too, like, oh, like why is this guy wearing such nice clothes and stuff?
Okay.
Yeah, and so I wonder, like, what is it about the United States that men just don't care about fashion?
Yeah, I think that's pretty funny because I know in Arabic culture it's a lot closer, and I maybe even Latin culture as well. It's a lot closer to kind of like U.S. standards. Because if you go into Arabic culture, like you approach like a Muslim man, there's like they're really against shaving any body hair.
Yeah.
And growing your beard out, not cutting your hair.
Yeah.
That's kind of like if you're cutting your hair and you're shaving your beard, it's like very feminine.
Yeah.
In that culture. So yeah, it's really interesting.
It's funny. So saying about that made me remember history nerd, right?
Yeah.
So like in Russia, like Peter the Great, I forget when exactly he lived, but he was the Tsar of Russia for a while.
Yeah.
And he wanted Russia to become westernized. So he created a beard tax where if you had a beard, you had to pay a special tax to get people to shave their beard. But a lot of Russian men were like, why am I shaving off the symbol of my manliness? I'm not going to do this.
I'll
And
just
they
pay the
paid
money.
the tax. Yeah, right. But it's funny because like the beard culture was so ingrained there that like people would not shave it even if they had to get taxed.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I wonder what it is about.
Yeah. What do you think? Do you think that women have like a similar experience, like between like, you know, what's considered beautiful over here in Japan and versus America?
Well, so one thing that I thought was really interesting is, you know, back in the States,
Yeah.
when like I was with like a Japanese female friend or something like that, or my wife. Someone would be like, "Oh, your hair is so beautiful. Oh, your skin is so nice. Oh, Asian women are just naturally beautiful, right?"
Yeah.
And then I come here and I'm like, "Wow, they put in a lot of effort to look nice."
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like one thing that really shocked me when I came here is just all of the advertisements for like Datsumo salon. You know, because like in the States you have that too.
Yeah.
But it's not really like out in the open so much.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. The skincare thing is definitely like just on a whole nother level here in
Yeah.
general. I think one other thing that I immediately noticed among women here is tans.
Tans, yeah.
Yeah, like in the U.S., like, I mean, like a tan girl is considered like really sexy, and like tropical, and I guess like erotic, like that kind of thing. Whereas like you see a tan girl here, and it's like, well, you don't see them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you see him in Shonan according to like your
you do
video.
see them in Shonan, but like even in Shonan, they're very like outdoorsy types. Like you don't see like the girly girls going out to the beach and getting a suntan. You know what I mean? It's if you see a girl with a tan, it means like she's probably a surfer, or you know, she's doing some outdoor thing.
Yeah.
And so here in Japan, it's like you really don't see women go out and like get any kind of like skin tone.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, you know, it's funny, like when I first met so Japanese women who had just come from Japan at my school and stuff,
Yeah.
I always thought they were like a little sick because their skin was so pale.
Yeah.
You know? And it's almost like, because in the States, right, like pale skin is associated with not going outside, being sickly, being weak.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And yeah, it just, they were too skinny, too like pale to the point where they all looked like they were sick or something, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, like in it's funny because like you have Japanese Americans who tend to actually have darker skin than Japanese.
Which is interesting too, because a lot of my Japanese friends, like like back in high school, were
these are Japanese American friends.
These
right?
are Japanese Americans, and I'm not talking about mixed people. I'm talking about, I hate to use this term, full Japanese. But you know what I mean? Like they're Japanese ancestry living in America, and they are considerably darker than people here. Yeah. In fact, it was really funny because one of my friends, who's Japanese American, moved over here, and that historically sounds weird, but he's been dark his whole life, and then he moved here, and now he just looks like a Japanese person.
Oh, really? Like his skin got lighter?
His skin's super light now, and it's like, dude, who are you?
Yeah. Yeah. It changes a lot, right?
It's so interesting. I've never, like, I hadn't seen him for a couple years, and then I ran into him last year in the summer, and it was just like, wait, is that you? Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, it was so crazy. So it's really interesting. It is definitely a culture, like, isolated to I would say isolated to Asia, because I don't think Japan's the only country in Asia that kind of like really emphasize that. I think China and Korea are the same way. Yeah. But yeah, man, it's really interesting how like there's just two radically different opinions on skin tone. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like, for me, you know, especially just seeing here how much people care about their appearances more than like in the States. You know, like, because here, you know, especially, you know, we live in Tokyo, everyone is so well put together. Yeah. And I feel like I stick out a lot because I'm the one who's like the least put together in most situations.
I mean, I go to 7-Eleven pajamas, I'm not going to lie.
Okay.
So.
What? 7-Eleven in pajamas?
Yeah, man, I'm not going to put on like real clothes for that. Like, it's just going to the Konbini.
I'm too embarrassed for that, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, you live like right next to Konbini. You're telling me you put on like a suit and tie just to go to the Family Mart?
I do, actually. And I shave and put wax in my hair. No. No, but I at least put on pants, like real pants, not pajamas.
Oh my God. I'm not gonna do that.
But that's another thing that's really weird when you think about it, right? Yeah. So like, in the States, it's actually very common for like I feel like it's especially women who do this to go out in their pajamas.
Oh yeah, you definitely see it.
Yeah. Do you feel like it's more of like a girl thing or is it both?
Well, yeah, I would say typically speaking, you see more women than men doing it.
Yeah.
And to be fair, it's not like they're out like spending an entire day
Yeah.
in their pajamas. It's like, oh, I got to go to the store. You know, I'm already spending time getting my kid ready to come with me. So
Yeah.
whatever. I'm just gonna throw some sweatpants on.
It's like the hoodie and the sweatpants
Yeah.
and like the bobbed hair that's
Yeah.
kind of like loose put together. Yeah.
You see that a lot. But yeah, I have never seen that here in Japan.
Yeah. Right.
Not once.
Yeah.
Like if you see a woman, like even just going and doing some errands, like she will always be wearing like I don't want to say proper clothes, but like she'll be wearing clothes that you would expect to see somebody wearing outside.
Yeah. Like outside clothes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude, that's another thing though that hit me, right? Is when I went back to the States after a year, the thing that shocked me is like girls in the States just wear like leggings.
So that's actually started popping up here though.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I see leggings all the time here.
Like just leggings, nothing covering the bum?
Oh, okay. Usually they'll be wearing like some like workout shorts.
Yeah.
But yeah, you definitely see leggings cropping up here.
Yeah, well, so I mean, so what I guess what I mean is that like a lot of girls would wear leggings instead of pants. Like I've seen girls wearing leggings here, but they have something like cover their butt, like their butt, right?
Yeah.
But in the States, it's like it's not like that at all, you know?
Yeah.
And that was really shocking. Like when I came out, like wow, people, just like I can see everything. You know, it's.
I feel like they're at the same time, like with men.
Yeah.
Something that I don't often see here in Japan is shorts.
Yeah, right.
I don't see men wear shorts very
men
often.
wear shorts here. I know men wear shorts in the States all
like
the time.
If you go to the States, like I mean, you'll see men wear shorts to work.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, like even going to the park, like I mean, I like going to the gym or something and seeing like men working out. Like you'll see men wearing shorts, but you know, even hiking and going to the park and stuff, you'll see men walking around in slacks.
Yeah. Right.
You know. And then that's something I immediately noticed when I started doing more outdoors stuff. It's like, oh, well, I guess shorts just like aren't as much of a thing here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird because like a lot of times I'm going to be the only one wearing shorts, but like, or another thing is flip-flops.
Oh, yeah. Well, so here's the thing about flip-flops is they're kind of treated as like indoor shoes here.
Okay.
Would you agree?
I mean, I would think so. I mean, they're called bisan, right? So beach sandals. So I would see them as more like footwear that you wear to the beach.
Yeah.
But I mean, you also can wear them in the house or something. But I guess I don't really see people walking around outside with them. Let's just say that.
Yeah. I okay. Maybe I should change what I say.
Rechange what I say. Got it.
I'm getting a little drunk.
Maybe we should put this down.
Yeah. So what I mean by that is I do not wear flip-flops here. And I'll tell you where I wear flip-flops.
Yeah.
When I go out onto the balcony to hang up laundry.
Okay.
And when I go out into like the backyard of places. Like if I'm visiting someone's house.
Yeah. Like
usually we'll put on flip-flops to go into the backyard. And that's like the extent of flip-flops being worn.
You don't wear flip-flops here?
No.
Why? Did you wear flip-flops in the States?
Yeah.
Why don't you do it here?
Because no one else does.
I do.
Well, you don't care.
And then people comment on it all the time, you know? It's funny because there have been multiple times when like I've gone out in flip-flops and then like people have made comments like, oh, you're wearing flip-flops. I'm like, so?
Yeah.
But it's not, because it's not a thing here.
Oh, man. It's like, it grates me because there's such like a double-sidedness to when people say that.
Yeah.
Because I just got to comment on this because this really grinded my gears yesterday.
Grind my gears.
Okay, so this is a little off topic, but I wear clothes based off of the weather of the day.
Yeah.
Right? And yesterday it was pretty warm out.
Yeah, right. It was like 20 degrees.
So I wore one of my Cool Biz shirts. You know, the short sleeve business shirts.
Okay, Cool Biz shirts. Okay.
It's called Cool Biz here.
Yeah.
And I wore one of my short sleeve shirts. And one of my bosses, I'm not gonna get into detail. One of my bosses commented like, "Oh, Austin, are you feeling warm today?" Mm-hmm. Like really obviously commenting on my short sleeve. They didn't want to say like, "Hey, you shouldn't be wearing that. It's not the official Cool Biz time You know, you're supposed to be still wearing a long sleeve shirt and tie and everything, but nah, I'm not going to wear that. And I was just like, really?
Yeah, right.
Just let me wear my short sleeve. It's hot outside. Like, so that just reminded me of that.
Yeah, right. It's like, oh yeah, you're wearing those things. Cool, nice. Yeah, that's great. No, dude. It's very much like you can't go with the words that they say. You have to look behind that. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. So I feel like we've talked a lot about this. Was there anything else that you wanted to share?
No, I feel like I got what I wanted to say.
Yeah, we're doing good. We're already like a little bit more than halfway here.
Yeah.
So we need to save more for the next video.
For sure, man.
Awesome, man. See you next time.
All right.